Good evening, Jackson Jills. I am Monsieur Demi with The Echo. So today, the league moderators announced the format for the VRML Season 1 postseason. So what we're going to do is break this all down and go through every detail so you have the best understanding you can have going into the postseason. I've broken this down into sections and have provided timestamps for each there on the left, so you are free to skip about the video as you see fit. So without further ado, let's begin. So first, we'll cover the three different tournament formats being employed in this postseason: Swiss, Round Robin, and Double Elimination Bracket. For the Challenger Cups, we will be using the Swiss-style tournament format. In this format, teams play a set number of games against different opponents, and the team with the best record at the end is crowned the winner. Matchmaking for the initial rounds can be random or determined by seed, but as the tournament progresses, matchmaking prefers to put teams with similar records against each other. This format can end in a tie, so organizers will often predetermine tiebreaker conditions to ensure that a champion is ultimately selected. A different way of looking at this is as a mini-season, and the team with the best record at the end of the mini-season wins. For the finals qualifiers, we will be using a round-robin format. This format is really not all that different from the Swiss format, except the number of rounds is determined by the number of teams, so that every team plays every other team. In the Swiss format, not every team will necessarily play every other team, but the end result is basically the same. The team with the best record at the end wins. As well, ties are possible, but so tournament organizers will predetermine tiebreaker conditions to ensure that a champion is selected. Now, the finals format takes on what you might consider a more traditional tournament format: Double Elimination Bracket. In this format, teams are paired based on seed, where the highest seed tends to play the lowest seed. When a team has lost 2 games, they are out of the tournament, and teams will play until all but one are knocked out, determining an absolute victor. So for all you folks that didn't make the top 6 in North America or the top 7 in Europe, you have one more opportunity to get into the finals qualifier, and that is through Challenger Cups, also known as the Open Qualifier. Any teams not in those aforementioned groups are free to sign up to participate in a Challenger Cup, even new teams that didn't play during the season. These are open to absolutely any full roster team, but it must be a full roster of 4 to 6 players, as subs are explicitly prohibited from the postseason. You have until May 1st to register a team and sign up for the Open Qualifier. Once your team is formed and set to active, registration for the Open Qualifier can be found on your team's management page. North American teams will have the choice between Saturday, May 2nd or Sunday, May 3rd. Teams can only sign up for one cup, and which team signed up for which cup will not be published until after registration has closed. North American teams will not know specifically who they will be playing on either day unless those teams have made that information available themselves. Europe has one Challenger Cup, and that takes place on Sunday, May 3rd. Please see the VRML website for specific start times for each cup. The Challenger Cups will operate under a Swiss-style tournament format. There will be a likely maximum of 5 rounds, but the total number of rounds will ultimately be determined by the total number of teams that sign up. In the event that 6 or fewer teams sign up for any particular Challenger Cup, it will instead be played as a round robin, but as we discussed in the first section, this just means all teams will get to play all other teams. The same format we use for games during the regular season applies here. Each game is best of 3. Rounds are 10 minutes long with a running clock, and round ties are settled with 2-minute rounds of sudden death until a goal is scored. Initial seeding will be determined by where each team finished in the season. New teams that did not play in the season will be randomly seeded at the bottom. As the tournament progresses, rankings will be determined as follows. First, it is based on your match wins, or otherwise stated as your win-loss record. Then, in the case that 2 teams have the same record, it will look at those teams' records against each other. And because 2 teams are not likely to face each other more than once, we likely won't need to go any further than this in a tiebreaker when determining a winner. However, in the rare cases that 2 teams with the same record did not play each other, next it would compare your respective buckholes rankings. This can actually be fairly complicated, so I'm not going to try to explain it here. It basically compares you based on who else you played, but for more information, I would just direct you to Google. And if Buckle still isn't not good enough to satisfy a tie, it would look at your plus-minus points over the tournament, that being total points scored minus the total points scored against you, and finally it would just look at your raw total points. Chances of a tiebreaker going this far are obnoxiously slim, so I really wouldn't worry too much about most of that. Generally speaking, your record is going to be the determining factor in your rank. At the end of each respective challenger tournament, a winner is determined from that ranking system, and the winners of each will get to move on to the finals qualifier. Ultimately, it will be 2 teams from North America and 1 team from Europe that will get to advance. And now for the teams that made the top 6 in North America and the top 7 in Europe, as well as the teams that won their respective Challenger Cups, we get to the finals qualifier. Functionally, the finals qualifier works much the same as the open qualifier, except these will be exclusively played in a round-robin format. The ranking system for round-robin is practically identical to that for Swiss. However, because all teams will definitely play all other teams one time, the ranking system for round-robin is notably simpler. Teams will be ranked by number of match wins, then by match wins against tied opponents. That's it, and all that will be needed. Seeding for the finals qualifier is determined by your regional rank at the end of the season. First place would be Seed 1, second place Seed 2, and so on. Your seed will also determine which qualifier your team will be placed in. Each region will have 2 different qualifier cups, known as Round Robin A and Round Robin B. For North America, Round Robin A will consist of seeds 2, 3, and 6, as well as the winner from the Saturday Challenger Cup. For Europe, Round Robin A will consist of seeds 2, 3, 6, and 7, as they do not have a Saturday Challenger Cup. For both regions, Round Robin 8 will consist of seeds 1, 4, and 5, as well as the winners from the Sunday Challenger Cups. The semifinals and finals will be taking on a different form than either of the qualifiers and will be identical to how we did the finals in the preseason. The top 4 teams from each region, as determined by the qualifiers, will participate in a double elimination bracket tournament. The semifinals will take place on Saturday, May 23rd, and the finals will take place on Sunday, May 24th. Seeding is based on where each team finished in their respective round-robin qualifier. In Round 1, first place from Round Robin A will play second place from Round Robin B, as well first place from Round Robin B will play second place from Round Robin A. The winners from Round 1 will progress to Round 2 in the winner's bracket, and the losers will progress to Round 2 in the loser's bracket. The Round 2 loser's bracket will determine the first to be eliminated from the finals. In Round 3, the winner from the winner's bracket will get a bye while waiting for the finals. The loser from the winner's bracket will face off against the winner from the loser's bracket in what is being called the bronze match. This will be a best-of-5 series, and the loser of this series will be awarded with third place in the tournament. The winner will move on to the finals. Round 4 is the first and possibly only round of finals. This will be a best-of-5 series between the winner of the bronze game and the as-yet undefeated winner from the winner's bracket. If the undefeated team wins the first best-of-5 series, they will be crowned victor. If the winner from the loser's bracket wins the first best-of-5 series, a second best-of-5 series will be played to determine an ultimate winner. This is exactly what we saw happen in the preseason, so it should be pretty familiar to most of you. Thank you very much for watching this video, and a special thanks to Wit for putting up with all my clarifying questions in the Echo Games Discord. I've been Monsieur Demouy with the Echo. Good luck to everyone, and I hope to see you out there.